O'Reilly! Is your mower's battery weak or dead after winter storage? Get your mower ready for spring lawn maintenance at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, purchase any Superstart lawn and garden battery and get a $10 gift card after rebate. Choose Superstart batteries for power, performance, and reliability exclusively at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where you'll say, "Ta-ta, T-Mobile," because we've got more reliable home internet that's a whole lot faster. In fact, 10 times faster. No, seriously, because we have real internet backed by our fiber-powered network. And T-Mobile, well, they just have a 5G cellular network. So act now to get superior home internet. Find your perfect speed with prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 24 months. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.
There'd be a lot of poop in my pants. I've seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Oh, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
A great white shark was stolen.
Oh, someone stole a shark?
I got stuff for you don't even know about.
She's a witch. She turned me into a newt.
Who knows? Anything could be possible. Anything could be possible.
It's really big abduction vibes.
Holy moly.
It sounds like you were abducted.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, "What the?"
Hello, and welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful mystery.
He's got to charge up after that. Yeah. And I am the infamous Jay.
What clone number?
No clone today.
Oh, gosh. No, not the original.
The clones don't exist. The clones are not real. We are all one.
All right. So this week, I have a whale of a tale for you.
Oh, a whale?
Of a tale.
We're doing another cetacean?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
It's a play on words.
Oh.
But let's do our front of house stuff first. You know how we like to start it. It's been the same for about a year now.
Just about.
It's not a surprise anymore. But Paranormality Magazine. So we are an affiliate with Paranormality Magazine now.
Woo! Yay.
So what that means is basically if you go to their website and you buy a magazine subscription or anything like that, if you use our code, Corn Crew, all one word.
Yes.
Corn Crew.
Corn Crew. Promo code Corn Crew.
We get a kickback of everything you buy.
Yes.
So, it's a great magazine. We've been in it a couple times, and we're actually working on articles for them right now.
Paranormality Magazine.
Yes. The link will be below. Enjoy it. We appreciate you guys. So if you want to support us, help support them, all that good stuff.
Remember, use the code word Corn Crew.
All one word.
CORNCREW.
I hope I spelled it right when I put it in.
Let's hope. We probably shouldn't have left you up to that task, but
okay. Once again, check out our YouTube channel. Speaking of that, as of now, so this is a week before. So this is literally the week it ends. But we'll record it a week before. It's all that podcast time travel. The Kickstarter is 82% funded. We're so close, guys. So please, if you can donate, we greatly appreciate it. The link's below. Share it. It's an all or nothing thing. So what that means is that we either get it or we don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You've known this since day one. You just forget.
I guess I thought it was just like, okay.
No,
let's get there. We're on that
all or nothing.
Final push to the finish line.
And thank you everybody that has supported it already. We greatly appreciate you guys.
Much gratitude sent your way.
Yes. And then also, if you guys are going to a conference that we're going to be at, let us know. We love to learn faces and try to get to know you before you get there.
Right.
So this weekend coming up is Monster Fest. So I don't know if I'm going to be there, but Jay will be there with Rachel and Sean. So you can meet Jay. There'll be like a potato with my hat on it you can talk to in my place. But no, go if you're coming. Let us know. We already know some of you guys are coming. Jake, Michael, Paul. Who am I forgetting? Rachel, Sean, obviously are going to be there, but you know they'll be behind the booth.
Will Jake be there?
Yeah, he said so this morning.
All right, Sherwin maybe.
Yes, Sherwin's a vendor. I believe.
All right, it's going to be a party.
It's going to be a party. It always is.
Yeah.
You guys have not been shy with the love this week.
Ooh.
We have a lot of new reviews, and we have a lot of new Patreon members to get to.
Ooh.
So I'm going to try to speed through these reviews. So once again, a lot of these are going to be Spotify, and we have one Apple review.
Okay.
So for the Spotify ones, we're going to cut back on them now, but there were so many that we didn't know about till recently.
Yeah, it's a new
we're
feature.
Trying to blow through them.
Yeah.
So this is a long name, but j.g.williams.jw.jw.
Oh, okay. He's a cousin.
Huh?
A cousin of mine.
I love y'all's show. Keep up the good work. You guys are killing it. And Justin, did you get your nickname from Open Season, the movie? Now, the great and power. So I may have got my nickname originally from the Open Season movie.
Okay.
Where I believe it. Elliot says it.
What's he say?
He's the great and powerful.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure, but I used to think I made up things myself, but it was for me falling asleep, like watching stuff like South Park and stuff like that. And then it would like ingrate into my brain. So I'm not saying that I did not purposely get it from Open Season, but subconsciously I may have pulled it. Robert J. Smith.
Different from our Robert.
We discovered this morning.
Smith.
We have a friend that's Robert Smith.
Yes.
And we thought it was him, and I was picking on him. Do it now. He said, love the show. I feel like I'm learning something more about nature now in my 40s than I ever did in high school. My only complaint is the placement of ads randomly in the middle of a sentence. Yes, I understand. We're trying to get better at that, but we do appreciate it all. Yeah, I get it. It's annoying.
Yeah, we're getting better slowly.
We're trying.
Yeah.
And eventually it'll be there. Dean, love the show. I listen to each episode at least 2 times, if not more, just to grasp all the info. Also, I love joining the Tuesday mornings to chill with you guys and sip on some coffee.
We just talked to Dean today. He was in there.
Did Dean cut in today?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good.
So welcome to the fun, Dean.
Thanks, Dean. Bumble Lily?
Okay.
BUMBERLILY.
Bumber Lily.
Okay. Awesome as always, gentlemen. I always look forward to the next episode.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bumber.
Bumber. Lerod84. You two have quickly become me and my coworkers' favorite podcast to listen to. I bet y'all are a hoot to hang out with. Love the content. Thanks again, Ash.
Oh, thank you, Ash. Mm-hmm. What was the name though? Lerod?
Lerod84.
Okay. Well, Ashley Rod.
Elsie? ELSIE.
Yep.
Guys, I absolutely love the episode. Enjoyed every minute. Thanks for sharing, Lori. So, Lori, thank you for sharing, is what I took that as.
Thank you.
Aaron Kemper. Great podcast, guys. For me, storytelling and just chilling to make it super easy to listen to. The only issue is the debate is caused because the written tradition didn't come until late. So that's on the Trolls episode.
Okay.
So he was saying that the debate on the wording didn't come until later on.
Ah, okay.
So thank you for that update. And once again, if we get anything wrong, please send an email.
Yeah,
we will
us.
make corrections.
Right, yeah, we will.
There's only one guy really doing the research here.
Right, and I'm busy as it is. It's not me. It's not me.
But no, so we do appreciate, anytime that anything like that happens, please send us an email. We appreciate it, and we'll make corrections. So JRA4776. So we read his comment a while ago, but he did an update. He said, once again, 5 stars, updated. I become a Patreon member, and I definitely recommend it. So much extra content and more, absolutely worth every penny.
Oh, there's a good endorsement. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Patreon's really fun for us to do. It's fun connecting with you guys. So,
yeah.
We want to join in, have some fun with us.
All right, Jay, you do the Patreon names. We got 4 of them this week.
Or we got 4 new Patreon members. Oh gosh, is it because of this first name you gave me the thing? Okay, I'm gonna butcher this, but it looks like our first member is Jana Steck. I don't know.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, Jana.
Welcome, Jana.
We'll just stick with Jana. Thank you, Jana. Welcome to the club. We got Benjamin Schuler. So thank you, Benjamin, for joining. We got Bigfoot Society, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Da-na-na. He's a Bigfoot friend of mine. All right, so thank you, Jeremiah. Welcome. And we got, last but not least, Bill Kerner.
Bill Kerner.
So welcome, Bill. All of you, all four of you, welcome. Welcome to the club.
Yes.
We keep growing stronger and stronger. Yes.
Let the hate flow through you.
Flow through you. Yes. But not hate, but, Jedi, good love.
Are you ready to get into this?
Yeah, I'm still don't know what we're even talking about.
First, we kind of have it in 3 sections. We're going to talk about Porphyrios.
But what?
Porphyrios.
Porphyrios?
The beast known as Porphyrios. The monster that almost took down the late Roman Empire.
Porphyrios?
Porphyrios.
I got to see how you spell that.
No.
Can I at least just...
No.
I got to see it.
No.
Why not?
Porphyrios.
I just feel like you're saying it wrong.
No, I have done so much more research into actually how to pronounce this than anything ever on this show.
And what is it again?
Porphyrios.
Okay.
I even have the little breakdown of how to say it phonetically.
You need a button to push. Like
Porphyrios.
Yeah.
I almost did it.
Close enough.
Did you ever watch The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
I did a little.
Have you ever seen the thing, destroy us all? Destroy us all. Where he says the whole episode.
I know.
I almost put that on a button today and I couldn't quite get it done.
Okay.
Because Porphyrios will destroy us all.
Okay.
So Porphyrios was an extremely large whale that harassed and sank many ships in the waters near Constantinople in the 6th century. Active over a period of 50 years, Porphyrios caused a great concern for Byzantine, seafarers. Emperor Justinian the First.
Justinian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Made it to an important matter to capture the beast that we could not come up with any way to do so.
Now, didn't he know about eel pheromones and big shark hooks?
I don't think that works for
okay.
whales.
Oh, okay. Of course, a guy named Justin would be the one.
Porphyrios was the boat that, Porphyrios sank so many vessels.
Yeah.
That, including, we're going to talk about warships, giant fishing vessels, and whole fleets. One whale.
Okay.
But was it a whale we're going to talk about?
Ooh.
So there's, once again, translation, all that kind of stuff, Whale, does that mean giant aquatic beast? Or does that mean whale?
Or does it mean like, never mind. Yeah, aquatic beast or whale. Yeah, let's stick with those two. Nothing.
What were you going to say?
Nothing with blue hair. It's gone.
Porphyrios is mentioned in the writing of the 6th century Byzantine historian Porphyrios about the history of the wars. VII 29. In the secret history, according to the Porphyrios. Porphyrios. Now I'm going to say the name wrong because his name's too similar to the whale.
Right, yeah.
Porphyrios. Now, dang it.
Well, are you saying the actual...
I'm trying to say the whale's name.
The one that we were just talking about the whole time.
Yeah.
Porphyrios.
Porphyrios.
Is that what you're saying?
I guess. So he measured 30... yeah, I knew I was going to get it wrong. Porphyrios. The whale. Anyways, the whale measured 45 feet in length.
Okay.
And 15 feet wide.
Okay, that's pretty big.
But not... I mean, think about whales. 45 feet long is...
Yes, it's not that big.
It's either a monster killer whale...
Yeah.
Or really small sperm whales, what most people kind of put it as.
Okay. It sounds like a small orca.
No,
small, a big orca.
Orcas top out today at 35 feet.
Yeah, big orca, small whale.
Yeah. So, and we're going to talk about behaviors. And why I picked those two species is mainly because of aggression.
Okay.
Because baleen whales just don't have a lot of aggression, going out of their way.
Right, yeah.
To do anything.
Not
they
like
will heavily defend themselves.
Have you seen, it's just a video I've seen pop up on my feed on stuff like that.
Shut up.
Okay. We'll get to it later.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Porphyrios.
So
whales are not well understood in antiquity or in the Middle Ages and are often seen as simply great monsters. So this is what we're talking about when we're trying to decide whether this is an actual whale or a different kind of big sea creature.
Okay.
Because there's arguments, and it was mentioned in a book talking about a previous time.
Okay.
So we're not talking about the writings of the time. We're talking about our writings later talking about this time.
Game of telephone.
So, yeah. And that really is. We just kind of have its behaviors in the lifespan.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's not possible to confidently identify the species Porphyrios was belonged to. It may have been a giant sperm whale or an extremely unusually large orca. And right now there are 35 subgroups of orca alive on the planet. So this could be a member that is maybe extinct or really, really rare.
Right, exactly, yeah.
They just got a little bigger.
Because, 35's a lot, but that's still not that many.
That's 10 foot. But we talked about, when these animals start getting, every inch matters. You gain so much extra weight.
It's like that exponential growth.
Yeah. So could it actively hunt how they normally do? But would that point to it being more of a a solitary animal?
Right.
So we'll get to there. But Porphyrios being a sperm whale was supported by its size, lengthy lifespan, and temperament. On the other hand, though, the identification as an orca is supported by the geological location. So in the Mediterranean Sea, in that area, a lot of orcas.
Okay.
Whether you see them or not, there is a lot of them. Since true whales rarely venture into these waters, which Porphyrios is known to frequent, its name is referenced to the skin color. It could support either the identification of both, since the black of the orca or the dark brownish gray of the sperm whale is misinterpreted as dark purple. So basically, part of the name means really dark purple.
Okay.
But sperm whales are really like a dark brown. They can be really dark. A lot of the ones you see are light brown.
Yeah.
And orcas are black.
Right, yeah, with the white underbellies.
Yeah. But not all orcas have a lot of white. Like I said, there's a lot of subspecies of orca.
That's
there
right.
are some that are almost fully black, more like pilot whales.
Oh, okay.
So once again, we're talking about something in the 6th century.
Yeah, it's quite a long time ago. But I always wanted to. So the deep purples where they got the Porphyrios name.
Partially, and we're going to talk about the name later because it has several different meanings. Once again, long game of telephone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Long game of telephone here. We do know there was an animal that did sink ships at this time.
Right.
That is fact.
Fact. Okay.
Because that was not just by this one guy's writing. He went into the greatest detail about it, but it popped up several other places.
Gotcha.
Saying about this animal that was like literally, we're going to talk like it was in the Bosporus Straits, which is a narrow area that most ships coming out of the Roman Empire had to go through. And it would literally
just wreck their fleets.
One day it sank 15 ships.
Man,
it was having a bad day.
So yeah, and you don't think it was like a big shark or nothing, right?
No, I don't. Personally, I think it was either. I think it was a whale.
Okay,
but we'll get into all that. So Porphyrios harassed ships off the waters of Constantinople over 50 years, but no, not continuously, since its time disappearance for lengthy periods of time. So it seemed to follow its normal migration paths. It would spend a couple months out of the year in this area, and just wreck everything.
Yeah,
and then it would leave.
You think it was like a breeding area?
Save it. You're maybe onto it.
Okay.
So it's most frequently appeared in the Bosphorus Straits. Porphyrios made no distinction in regards to which kind of ships it attacked. It reported attacking dozens of fishing vessels, merchant ships, and it even sank dozens of warships.
Okay.
So the Roman warships, Romans were known for these giant warships, and it would sink them.
Yeah, that's not that good. That's not good for your army.
Many of his ships were sunken by Porphyrios, and the mere reputation terrified the crew of many more. So basically, people were avoiding this whole area. It was starting to choke out some parts of the Roman Empire. A whale was starting to starve out sections of the Roman Empire.
See, and this is the whole. I'm looking up the Bosphorus Straits right now. It's like the part where the Black Sea connects to the Mediterranean.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So how would a orca or something get into that area in the first place?
Oh, they go there.
Oh, okay. They're already there?
Yeah. So the orcas are there. Sperm whales aren't really.
Okay.
But, animals, they'll end up weird places all the time.
Yeah, true. I guess so.
So ships often took detours to completely avoid these waters. The whale most commonly swam. Emperor Justinian I, 527 to 565, he had a pretty long reign. Made it a matter of great concern to capture Porphyrios, though he was unable to devise any means through which to do this. They tried giant nets. They tried all kinds of stuff. So this whale was sinking for 50 years. He would just show up he would disappear for 6 months, 7 months at a time.
Okay.
And just long enough for people are like, okay, is he finally gone? And then one day he would come back and sink 15 ships, including some of the biggest warships at the time.
Dang, that would be quite the blow to your wartime economy.
They tried everything. And whale hunting was a thing at this time. People had hunted whales. This guy was just
couldn't hunt this one.
Smarter, but he wasn't giant. And, 45 feet's not a small animal.
Right. But it's not
a giant whale.
Right. When it
That's
comes
on
to
the way smaller side of whales.
Yeah.
It's a really, orcas are dolphins, so it's a really big dolphin, or it's a really small whale.
Okay.
They tried nets, they tried traps, they tried spikes on the ship. Like, they literally would put, like, spikes underneath their ship just to keep them from ramming into it.
Yeah. Did it work?
No. No. And people, it would taunt people. It would show itself off. It was like, it was a whole different thing.
I wonder if it's, okay, never mind. Well, let's save it for the end. I know what it is, but we'll go on.
So Porphyrios reportedly did die.
Oh.
So one day, dozens of ships witnessed this. Porphyrios was chasing a large school of dolphins, one of his favorite foods.
Okay.
And the dolphins had nothing else to do. Right where the Black Sea opened up into the Mediterranean, they was chasing these dolphins. These dolphins ran themselves aground. They ran themselves up on the beach just to try to get away from them. Porphyrios got beached temporarily.
Oh.
So, if for orcas, I don't know if you've ever seen orcas, they can kind of swim crawl back into the ocean. They'll do this on purpose.
Yep.
This is not an uncommon thing for orcas to run prey like this up on the beach.
I've seen them catch a seal on the beach,
and then drag it back into the ocean.
Yeah.
What had happened, though, is so many people seen this happen, and they all hated this whale so much. They ran out with hatchets and started beating this thing. While he was in the water. Wasn't working. Skin too tough.
Yeah.
They couldn't get through anything. They couldn't get blood, which points to me more towards sperm whale than orca, because the blubber doesn't have a lot of blood flow. So they can take hits, and it's not doing anything. So literally thousands of people start getting ropes, and they physically start dragging this thing out of the ocean as it's trying to go back in.
Yeah.
So they're dragging it. And once they get on land, then they hack it into pieces. People were reportedly so upset with this whale, they started eating its flesh right there on the beach.
I bet it was good.
Other people stored it and sold it for not millions of dollars. It's like, but their version of millions of dollars, because it was supposed to get all kinds of magical properties because it's this monster whale.
Small fortune, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That is nuts.
50 years.
Now, I would imagine that would be quite the scene to pull up on to see that happening. Would you be one of the people pulling it in off?
No, I'd be like, let it go.
Let it free. Oh.
No, I wouldn't be getting involved.
Not my problem. Not my problem. I ain't doing it. Man, would you have eaten it?
No.
Why not?
No. I mean, back then it would be different, but
I would have tried it.
not right now.
I would have tried it. I'm just saying. They just snip me off a little piece of its blubber.
So, Porphyrios' death was a great relief to the general population, though many speculated that the whale that got killed might in fact be a completely different animal than Porphyrios.
Okay.
Yeah. So Porphyrios is believed to be the earliest documented case of a rogue whale.
Okay.
Now, rogue animals are kind of this, it's just a term. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. It just means an animal that completely doesn't act like like the normal population.
Right.
But yeah.
So, were there more attacks after, did more ships get sunk after this ritualistic killing of hatchets and...
Not many, but Porphyrios could be getting too old. So if he is a sperm whale, or if he's a killer whale, so killer whales live into their 60s.
Yeah.
But when Porphyrios arrived in his 50-year period, he was already big.
Right, so he's already full grown.
Yeah. So either animal would either be the longest killer whale to ever live or an older sperm whale.
Yeah.
If it's one of those two animals. Now, it may not be.
Right, it could be something completely different altogether.
But if it is one of those two animals, it could... if it's a sperm whale, he's just not going into the shallow waters anymore. It's too hard for him to move around.
Yeah.
It's a killer whale. It's dead. It died of natural causes. It's old. It's massive. It's, just old. But no, this story got brought up again and again and again. So 1776 to 1789, a guy named Gibbons started writing about the strange and wondrous world of the ancient Romans.
Oh, nice.
And this is when this kind of story kind of got wind again.
Started recirculating. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah. And he's one of the inspirations for Moby Dick.
Aha. But he's not white.
Huh?
this Porphyrios wasn't a white whale.
Correct. But we'll talk about the other inspiration from Moby Dick here in a minute.
Okay.
So, we'll just to cover Porphyrios' name, like the namesake, real quick, and then we'll get into some other stuff. The whale's given its the name. Porphyrios was given a name by the Byzantine sailors. The name means something alternative rendered. So there's several different things it could mean.
Right.
Porphyrios, Porphyron, Porphyry, and Porphynoe. As the origins is not clear. The common hypothesis on the name includes it being derived from a competitive charioteer, so a chariot racer, named Porphyrios, and kind of like an homage to him being great and powerful.
That makes sense.
He was active during the start of Porphyrios' reign.
Okay.
So he's like one of the top guys. So imagine, for everybody at home, like sports today, it's one of the top sports guys of the Roman Empire at the time.
Right.
And you have this great beast. So it's kind of an homage.
Oh, now see, if everyone, I could make a great sumo reference to this, but literally
6 people would get it.
Yeah, and you're really pushing it.
Another one is Porphyron, which is the guy that waged war against the gods in Greek mythology.
Ooh, okay.
So is it, it's kind of that, an homage to that.
I could see it being a mix-up. Both are fitting. Both are definitely fitting.
And then Anthony Caudilis in 2010 suggests the name means imperial purple, and a sign of respect which the whale held.
Okay, I mean, that also fits.
Yeah, there's not really a clear-cut thing.
Right.
It could be a mix. So like I said, there's only 4 core names: Porphyrios, Porphyron, Porphyry, and Porphyrino.
Okay.
So it could be any of those core words to get our Porphyrios.
Right, yeah. And they all are fitting-ish, so you might as well just make an amalgamation of them all together.
Yeah, and it's the 6th century.
It's a long time ago.
But yeah, it's a very neat thing, but it happened. So this thing is, it's all kinds of like stuff about it, this, that, and the other telephone game. All we do know is there was an animal in the straits that sank dozens, if not hundreds of ships.
Mm-hmm. And like
over 50 years.
Warships too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great warships.
Yeah. Things that were built not to be sunk.
And whale hunting was the thing at the time.
And they just couldn't get this one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what do you think before we move on to the next thing?
I mean, it's kind of it's a crazy story, but it's also I want to say it's credible because of all the different writings and stuff about it, but I know what it is, but I don't want to just
go ahead
blurt it out. All right, for real?
Yeah.
All right. This was an early form of an ancient science studies and experiments where they're hybridizing in animals and making super soldier animals. And this mammal, I'm going to go with a mammal, was created in a lab and set free in this strait to destroy these warships to control, to keep the Roman Empire from getting a little too out of hand.
Oh, that's likely.
Mm-hmm. And it's in Istanbul or Constantinople, same difference. But a power center, they got to have their experiments and creatures, kind of make it look like nature's winning this battle, when in fact it's people, scientists and their grubby little greedy fingers making these creatures.
So let's talk about what it really could be.
Oh, okay.
I think you may have got it right. So sperm whales. Let's say it is a sperm whale. And you said this earlier, breeding. So is this a breeding ground?
Oh, okay.
So
yes.
sperm whale bulls love fighting each other. Like they will kill each other for breeding rights.
Okay.
But this guy's a little out of place if it is a sperm whale.
Yeah.
And he's a little young, at least during the beginning of this when he was 45 foot long. So this is a juvenile sperm whale. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the Axis, which is the ship that inspired Moby Dick, which involved a sperm whale.
Okay. I thought you meant like the Axis powers.
No, the Axis. Or the Axis. I can never say it right.
Well, okay.
The Essex? The Essex.
Essex,
That's it.
yeah.
That's it. But no, so what happens is these old wooden ships, the creaking mimics bull sperm whales fight calls. So if this is a sperm whale that's gotten pushed out of his local range and he's, let's say, he's sexually frustrated and a lot of these big mammals need to fight to kind of get that out.
Okay.
So there's no males. There's no other males for him to, pick on.
Just these other ships.
So he comes in for a couple months and he picks a thing that kind of sounds like a male fighting call and he just destroys them. and that's it. There's no malevolence. It's just where he picked to hang out, and where he picked to hang out, there's no other sperm whales.
It's just these creaking ships that mimic him.
Yeah. And this is fitted by behavior. Sperm whales have attacked ships. They will sink big, large wooden ships. Whether you believe it or not, sperm whales are very, very strong animals.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
99% of the time, though, they don't... most of the ships attack the whales first.
Gotcha.
So it's not like... Sperm whales any whale rarely goes out of its way to do anything to anybody else that's not invoking it.
But if you're sexually frustrated...
And then a misplaced animal. To where, for whatever reason, it kept going back to this area, trying to breed, and there's no other sperm whales. So it gets really upset, gets really angry, and then there's a bunch of wooden ships to take it out on.
Exactly. But
sperm whales, modern day sperm whales, will actually attack fishing vessels to get their catch also.
Okay.
So it could have started from that to where they learned that some of these vessels
have food on them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like right now in Alaska, the cod lines, literally sperm whales will go right down the cod line and eat all of the cod.
Oh.
And like literally these boats, I've watched videos of these boats. The gigantic line will start getting pulled back out of these gigantic reels, these automatic reels, and you're like, effing sperm, and they're screaming, and I'm just laughing, like,
what are you gonna do?
You're fishing in where he lives.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Literally, what are you gonna do? Shoot it. You can try throwing a spear through its back, but
so it could be either one, or it's a sexually frustrated juvenile male. When it started, and then so that time frame does fit a life cycle of a sperm whale, and it probably died of old age.
Okay.
But sperm whales do eat dolphins. They will eat pretty much anything. But right now there's actually a crippled dolphin that's living with a pod of sperm whales, and the sperm whales are taking care of it. So, it's kind of like a case-by-case basis for that kind of stuff.
Right.
Or it could be one that learned that, humans mean food. Like these ships mean food sometimes. And it's cracking them open to see what comes out.
Once you get a behavior learned, I mean... It's hard to break that habit.
Exactly. So it could be either of those two things. The other thing is a giant orca.
Yeah.
That it could be these orcas, and orcas do attack boats, and we're going to talk about that later.
Is that video?
Yeah, it's more than that video, but yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so orcas have been known to do this. They are very intelligent animals. They don't normally do this unless they're wronged, which we'll learn more about later. So it could be that kind of thing. To where this is a revenge thing.
Right, yeah. Maybe they hunted its wife.
But that this isn't as supported as by the time frame. So that it's very, very seasonal, it seems like.
Oh, okay.
That Porphyrios would only be there for, a couple months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a killer whale revenge kill, it's going to be doing this constantly.
Right, yeah.
The one we kind of left out, if we talked about Mysterious Cetacean Station episode, is the hyphen sperm whale. Or Leviacus.
Yeah, we never talked about that one. Yeah,
no, we did on the Mystery Cetacean Station, the hyphen sperm whale that was seen off the coast of Canada.
Oh, okay, yeah. We didn't go into great detail, though, with them, did we?
There was only one story of it being seen twice.
Now I remember, yep.
But the hyphen sperm whale seems to be a little smaller and solitary. So this could be, and then Leviacus was bigger, but extremely solitary and extremely aggressive. It was the eater of whales and megalodons. So we could have this where it's literally the last one of the fewer remnants of its species, and they could be a lot more toned up in aggression.
And it could be smaller because it's living in like the sea and not like great ocean, unless it's working its way back into the sea.
I think it's going to the sea. I think it's a region or a visitor to the Mediterranean.
Okay.
So those are all options for this Porphyrios. But I just thought it was fun because it's a really old legend.
It is quite an old legend.
526 AD.
So that's what's that? That's a lot of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
1500? 1500 years ago.
That's kind of a long time ago.
All right.
Dang.
So we're going to try to take a little break for the ad read, and then we'll be back with the Essex.
At Kroger, we know the minute a tomato is picked, the fresh timer starts. The sooner we get our produce to you, the fresher it is. That's why we've shortened the time from harvest to home for our tasty tomatoes, strawberries, and salads. So no matter how you shop, you have more time with your fresh produce. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where you'll say, "Ta-ta, T-Mobile," because we've got more reliable home internet that's a whole lot faster. In fact, 10 times faster. No, seriously, because we have real internet backed by our fiber-powered network. And T-Mobile, well, they just have a 5G cellular network. So act now to get superior home internet. Find your perfect speed with prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 24 months. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.
And we're back.
We're back with the Essex.
That was fun. We literally just sat here in silence and stared at each other for just a second. We're a good podcast to know everything behind the curtain.
Yes.
We're not good with putting anything back there.
Professional podcasters.
Well, everybody should know. So we're not going to go into great detail about the whole Essex journey because it was insane.
The whole oh, wait. You talking about the Moby Dick story or the
Essex, the actual vessel, the actual boat that inspired the true Moby Dick story?
Gotcha. Okay.
Because it had like peril after peril after peril after peril, bad decision after bad decision after bad decision.
Maybe that'll be a Patreon exclusive in the future. It's
a lot. I just didn't want to. I wanted to add it into this when whales fight back kind of episode.
Yeah.
But so basically the Essex was in the Pacific Ocean. So these guys were searching for sperm whales.
Mm-hmm.
So they were baleen guys. They left from New England all the way to Pacific Ocean. They had just stopped at Galapagos before Charles Darwin ever got there. Like, people kind of get this misconception that Charles Darwin discovered Galapagos. No, he didn't.
Right.
They were using these islands and they loaded up on tortoises. So there's dozens of species of tortoise that are extinct before Charles even got there, and the Charles wiped out 2 species himself.
Ugh.
I don't like him either. So what these guys did, this vessel, so keep in mind, some of these voyages were up to 4 years.
Yeah, right. It's just insane to think about.
So they met up with this vessel right before they got to Galapagos, saying, "Hey, there's a lot of sperm whales calving in this area of the Pacific Ocean at this time at X time last year. You guys should go there next." So it's like 6 months in the future. That's how far they're planning.
Right. They
had problem that like the ship almost sank like twice. It was horrible. The ship was literally on its last legs. So they go out this way. There was like, I think at this point they've only harvested like 3 or 4 whales, and they've been at it for like, what was it, like 4 or 5 months. So it's really bad. It's really, really bad. And they refine the whales and everything on the boat. Like, there's literally guys that will crawl into these whales to get the spermaceti out of their heads and stuff like that. Gosh. The whole thing's horrible.
Yeah.
So they get to this, they load up on tortoises, and they go, and eventually they stop finding whales. So a part of the crew, they go to this island, and they just stay there.
They're done.
Yeah. I got a little island with a tribe and everything on it. They just stay there. They keep going. Finally, they see the biggest whale they've ever seen. Monster. Yeah, so it depends on like size estimates and all that kind of stuff. It's supposed to be an 85 to 90 foot long sperm whale, which is truly monstrous.
Yeah.
I believe most modern day sperm whales top out at 75 to 80 feet.
Okay.
But like we talked about, every inch, is a lot bigger.
Exponential growth.
Exponential growth. So you see this guy, and he's kind of sleeping. So sperm whales sleep with their nose up. Like, they sleep like pillars in the water.
Okay.
They're one of the few, as far as I know, they're the only big whale that sleeps. Because not a lot of stuff, even when a lot of stuff was in the ocean, like Megalodon and Leviathan and stuff like that, sperm whales are not easy to hunt.
Yeah.
Because they fight back. They got a lot of teeth. And they got sonic weapons and all this stuff. So there's about this gigantic sperm whale, 85 foot. So they put the boats in, and the boats are like crappy. So they literally get these little rowboats out to go. I'm not joking. And then they harpoon these whales, and then they let them run them around for a couple days until they exhaust themselves, and then they bleed them. This was when whaling was work. It's not like today with industrial harpoons and these chop shops where they chop them up alive.
Yeah.
This is like life or death for everybody involved.
Right.
So they get up, and the one boat has a big hole in it. And so the guy takes his hammer, and he starts patching a cloth patch on it, and so they can keep into the fight. So he's hammering on this wooden boat. So they get closer, they start harpooning it. The whale reacts completely differently than normal. It picks the ship, and it just starts making a beeline for this boat.
The big one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The main ship.
The main one, yeah.
They've never seen this happen before. They only ever attack the small boats.
Right.
Because that's the thing attacking them.
Right.
The whales are really... So this guy was hammering, getting to that. And it runs and it just hits the bow of this boat. Cracks are open. And then dives. And they're like, oh gosh, so everybody's like panicking and they're like, we got to fix this. Don't worry. Comes back a second time, smacks it with its tail, and just takes a gigantic 13-foot chunk out of the front of the boat.
Yeah, you ain't fixing that. You ain't patching that.
Boat just starts diving.
Yeah.
So all they're in is in these little rowboats, and there's tortoises everywhere because it cracked open the storage thing where the tortoises were being kept.
So they got freed.
Tortoises can swim the Galapagos tortoises can swim a long distance. So there's...
good. The
vessel's also full of pigs. I forgot about this. I'm not telling this very well because we're doing a short version.
Yeah.
So there's pigs and tortoises everywhere. And then the ship just goes down pretty much in minutes. And so they're grabbing everything. There's only one boat. There's 3 of these boats. There's only one boat that gets a sextant and anything like that to tell it anyway. They're in the middle of the Pacific near nothing.
Yeah.
The nearest thing by big boat was a month away.
Okay. Gosh.
So, and then the whale just leaves.
So he knew what it was doing.
Well, so, and then there's all this kind of stuff. We're not going to go into the whole crew of the Essex and everything like that. Basically it's famous because it ends in a lot of cannibalism.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But so what's cool, weird about this is this story stuck so long for whalers because it's the first time at least any crew survived to tell the story about a whale attacking the main ship.
Yeah.
There's some theories that happened many times before, but everybody
dies. Right. Makes sense.
But so there's arguments whether this was an actual sperm whale or not because they were even having trouble just describing sperm whales at this time as fully being their own species.
Mm-hmm.
To where they were it's a big sperm whale.
Yeah.
Now, was it a big sperm whale or was it a different species of whale that happened? It happened like what we talked about, Leviacus, high-fin sperm whale.
Right.
And every once in a while you run into these because it was a single animal. That's also a weird fact about it.
No, it went
with a pod.
Yeah.
So, is it a Leviacus, But just this monster animal. Instantly they they threw one spear and then it went and sunk the ship.
Yeah, I was going to say it went for chaos mode.
Now, with the hammering on the little patch.
Yeah.
They redid this relatively recently, 2010, 2012. They took the same kind of style boat with the cotton patch and the wooden hammer and all this stuff and started nailing it. It almost 100% mimics the bull sperm whale fighting call.
Oh, the fighting call?
The fighting call.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's what they think happened. Is the sperm whale was sleeping. It didn't even notice the little boats. It got woken up by a big whale going, come on, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
And then it just woke up and made a beeline for the biggest thing in the water.
Right.
Because it's okay, it's time to go.
Yeah.
And then it hit it. It rammed it once, which sperm whales do. They'll ram really hard on each other. Giant heads, ram, and then create a big hole. First, that wouldn't have sunk the ship,
right?
Probably,
but it left. It came back.
It came back and did a big tail smack and just took the whole front of the boat off.
When did this happen again? How long ago?
Oh gosh, I knew you were gonna ask.
I didn't remember if he said or not, but I don't know. I guess it's not that important, but the time frame.
1890 or 1819. Sorry, 1819.
200 years ago.
Yep.
That's better than 1500 though. So this. Probably some more to it, or not more to it, but
this is very documented. A bunch of the men survived.
Yeah.
Even the men. So it's cool, and not cool, but the cool thing is that the men that abandoned ship right before this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the guys that stayed with these natives on one of these islands.
Yeah.
They had great happy lives. Most of these guys. So whaling, you got a portion of the ship. You didn't get paid. You got a portion of what the ship got.
Gotcha.
So these guys were out there for 6-7 months and they were in debt.
Right.
They were in debt to the company on a ship that was failing.
Yeah.
So the Essex would have been decommissioned by any other company 2 or 3 years before this.
But they needed whale and money.
Literally the ship was outdated. It was small. There's all these factors that point to why just one angry whale instantly just took her down.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think about this one?
That's a fun story. I mean, it's a crazy story.
Like I said, this is a very small, fast snippet
of it, yeah.
of the story. And I may have said some stuff wrong, but that's just...
I mean, this is one definitely worth exploring, like for Patreon and stuff. This will be fun.
So we did 526 AD. We did 1819. Now I want to talk about this year.
Sure.
So like you've already alluded to,
Yeah.
and I know you said it, but Tom on Instagram sent me this several things about this. So thank you, Tom. With the killer whales, they're having trouble estimating the number of whales that are actually doing this.
Yeah.
They're actively attacking and sinking ships,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of undocumented for killer whales. Cool thing about killer whales is they've never killed anybody in the wild
That we know of.
But they're very documented. They've been right up next to people, right up next to kids and stuff like that.
It's scary.
But they look at you, and it's kind of the thing we talked about with humpback whales, I think, is they like, first off, you're not a food source. Second off, you're pretty smart, but they torture dolphins and seals. So
yeah. So
it's odd that I think, unfortunately, that we're very similar.
Okay.
And that's why they don't
Mess with
torture
us.
and destroy us.
Interesting.
But it happens in captivity. I don't think killer whales are a species that should not be in captivity.
Oh, yeah. Shamu.
Well, yeah, any of them.
Did they put down Shamu?
I can't remember. I mean, the one they've eaten their trainers several times because they go nuts.
No, there's only one. There's only ever one Shamu.
Yeah, at a time.
No, just one ever. And he was born on my birthday.
You think there was only ever one Shamu?
There was. There only was one. They never killed or replaced it. Never.
Yeah. Jay, we'll have to look at your kids' pictures of you. The 6 times you met Shamu.
Yeah.
We'll look at the face markings and realize it's a different whale every time.
Every time, yeah. No, just one. Don't ruin the childhood magic of Shamu.
It's not magic. It's cruelty.
Free Willy.
I'm all for zoos and aquariums and stuff like that. First off, it's great for public education. Second off, it's like Noah's Ark. You're saving species. You're saving some genetics in captivity.
And don't forget number 3, you're getting this splash zone.
Whales are one that should not be there.
Orcas, though.
Orcas definitely should not.
Oh, come on.
I think first off, there's space. Have you ever seen the space they have them in?
Plenty.
Not enough. For a 40-foot long.
You need like Indian Lake size.
That would be better.
Yeah.
If you could do something like that.
Let's do that. Let's get an orca and put it in Indian Lake.
I mean, it would die pretty fast.
Oh yeah, it needs
salinity.
Salt. Yeah. Let's breed our own freshwater orcas. Stock Indian Lake, and we'll start doing shows.
I wouldn't stock it. I don't know how many. I mean, Indian Lake's 6 foot deep the whole way across. They're 15-foot tall animals.
We'll stock it.
There's dragon belly the whole time.
Well, that'll be our hybrid, features. Belly draggers.
They have crustacean legs.
Yeah.
All right. Scientists are baffled after orca sinks 3 boats in Europe. So this is by Joshua Hawkins. So thank you, Joshua. Literally, he did this article this week.
Fresh.
Yeah. So a group of orcas have sunk 3 boats off the coast of Europe, and scientists aren't exactly sure why. The current belief is the behavior may be begun after a traumatized orca attack on a boat during a critical moment of agony. So orcas are highly intelligent, and they're one of the few animals that we know holds grudges.
Okay.
They believe that the behavior is spreading among the population due to social learning. So orcas are really good. This is me talking now.
Mm-hmm.
Orcas are really good about transferring data to each other. And several populations of orca can live in the same area and be genetically distinct. Because what happens is there's so many different types of orca, but they'll be special. They basically specialize inside of an environment.
Mm-hmm.
There's the shark hunters, there's the seal hunters, there's the salmon hunters. There's migratory members. So you can have 3 or 4 different groups of orca living in the same area, but they can talk to each other. They can learn from each other. So orcas, which are typically known as killer whales, aren't typically very aggressive towards humans. However, the first of these incidents began May of 2020. Scientists studied the incident, believe the first one was driven by some kind of agony experienced by an orca. Since then, others have been spotted attacking sailboats and other vessels. So there's a lot of these. So I've only fully sunk in 3 sailboats.
I wonder who did it, though.
Oh, we'll get to there.
Okay.
So that there, like I said, there's only been 3 sunken. How many negative interactions do you think took place this first year?
Well, if you're laughing or giggling, it must be a lot. So, 75?
500.
Oh, shoot. Okay. That's a little bit more than I thought.
Have been recorded since 2020.
So, 1.5 just about every single day, every day. Just about. Gosh dang.
They are mad.
About what though?
We'll get there.
Okay.
So the orcas, they started off slow burn, with an attack every week or every couple weeks.
Okay.
And then it was always one orca. And then it was 2 orcas. And then it was 3 orcas. Some people have reported all the way up to 5 to 6 orcas doing this.
Oh my! Now that would be a nightmare.
They've ripped the rudders off of tons of boats. They're grabbing anything that they can. They've cracked so many hulls. Like I said, they've only fully sunken 3 sailboats.
Yeah.
They've cracked the hulls of dozens.
Dang. Okay.
So if they can, here's the thing: if they take your rudder off, and they crack your hull,
you're done.
That's what the ones that sink.
Yeah, you're screwed.
You can deal with one or the other.
Right.
But so they're, like I said, they're not exactly sure. Experts involving the study these incidents say that the first incident happened after a female orca named White Gladys suffered a collision with a boat. Collision with the boat, or entanglement in illegal fishing nets, which triggered this behavioral switch. And since orcas are social animals, the behavior began to spread among them, leading to the most recent incidents where 3 orcas attacked a small sailboat and eventually sank it. What is even more intriguing and baffling is that these orcas seem to be making a straight path for the boat's rudders, biting and breaking them off. If the behavior is defensive, it is possible that it could continue, not only putting boats at risk, but also putting the orcas themselves at risk from the trauma caused by chasing and crashing into vessels. While their deaths cannot be directly linked to these incidents, it is possible that the deaths of 4 orcas have died in the first boat attack in 2020. So they had 4 dead orcas show up right before these attacks.
Ooh.
So they think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, like I wonder if
we'll talk about orca biology here in a second. So the key factor is White Gladys is an older female orca.
Big mama.
That matters. We'll talk about orca social structure.
Ooh.
The scientists are still baffled whether or not any of these actions of the orca are being playful or actively trying to aggress. They really don't know. Orcas are one of the only animals that sharks greatly fear. So maybe it isn't even surprising that they can be so aggressive. It just is odd now that they're turning it on to us.
Mm-hmm. It's what'd you do? That's the only thing I can come in my head.
Orcas, pods of orcas. So here's the interesting thing. So orcas have a really cool way of keeping the genetic balance.
Okay.
Females always leave the pod.
They always leave?
Males always return with a female. So when these juveniles go off to mingle and find, mates and stuff like that, they'll have mates inside of the pods and stuff like that. They're very unique, social structured animals. The juvenile males will always return with their female mate to their original pod.
Okay.
The females never return to their original pod.
Gotcha. They leave their
pods are ran by what's called grandmother. They're the oldest female orca in the pod. And the female orca runs all the strategies. She takes care of all the newborns. She teaches. She's the head matriarch. She runs the whole show. Everything from teaching juvenile calves all the way up to deciding what to hunt, where to go, and all this stuff.
Huh.
So the female orca puts so much time in only males. She only teaches the males because the females are going to leave and they're going to learn a whole different system.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of attention put in from the grandmother. White Gladys seems to be a grandmother that lost a great chunk of her family in one incident.
Yeah. Oh no. So now it's all these.
Well, now it's not confirmed that these 4 orcas, right before these attacks.
Yeah.
4 dead orcas showed up.
It's almost like they were hunted, and then White Gladys got involved, and then somehow she got entangled in.
Well, I think she survived. I think she's the only one that survived.
The attack.
Yeah, where there was entangled fishing gear or whatever.
Yeah.
I think, personally, here's what I think happened, is it was illegal fishing. And their pod got wrapped up in nets or whatever, and they pretty much killed the orcas to get them out of the nets. White Gladys broke out, or maybe wasn't even entangled herself.
Maybe she just witnessed
but she witnessed her sons dying. And I don't have any guarantee that the 4 were males. That's all speculation.
Right.
I can't find the gender of the 4 dead orcas.
Why not?
Because it's in Europe, and I can't find anything in Europe.
Didn't you do your due diligence?
Yeah, I tried.
I'm just kidding.
And she snapped. Just like a human. The orcas are pretty on level with humans.
And taught some pretty nasty behavior.
Well, and I think it's just the start.
Uh-oh.
I think this may get worse and worse and worse.
Uh-oh. We got to prevent them from talking.
I think they're going to put down these orcas.
Ooh.
I think they will.
Now, where's that video take place?
Dozens. There's dozens of videos of these orcas attacking boats.
Okay. You seen the one where the guys like they're driving through that water like with all the ice chunks in the water? Is that the one you're talking about?
No. So this is like right off the coast of England and stuff like that. This is not like in the Arctic. This is right off the coast of civilization.
Well, there's one in the Arctic going around right now
where it was jumping up beside the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a scary thing. They do that.
It looks pretty scary.
But so there's a video of a diver being in the water with one though, as it's ripping the rudder off a boat.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
And they still don't seem to show any aggression towards the
human
people.
beings. Yeah, just the vessels.
It's the boats.
Yeah.
And they may not be able to make that connection that the humans are the thing.
Gotcha.
Versus the boat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as far as they know, the boat is what killed them.
Right. Not the people involved. Involved. There's also the video going around too of this, but it's a little different. But it's a shark, not a killer whale, but like a kayaker, just chilling in the water, and literally.
Oh, that was a tiger. Yep.
Yeah. His camera flips up, and you see this fin beelining it right at his boat, and then.
You know what happened there?
Oh, no.
You watch it was chasing bluefish.
Was it?
And the bluefish took the kayak as a structure,
as cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they just. Sharks are like that, you know. They get one like when they're chasing something. They're
going for it, yeah.
And then it hits something, and then immediately it bit it. And it's like, oh, that's not what I'm supposed to try.
The guy was like, ah, I would too.
But no, it did not puncture his hull. It did not.
Yeah.
Once it hit it, and it was like, oh, that's not a fish.
Yeah, let go. I would have freaked out too. The guy. I mean, you're on that tiny kayak.
So, what do you think about White Gladys? I know I just made a lot of assumptions.
Right. I mean, there's some dots that could be connected there. If it is the paternal mother, though, like. Anything's on the table. Like, no bets are off, because that's very possible, especially if it's taught behavior.
Oh, it's definitely she's definitely teaching them. It's really about the why.
Right? Yeah. Well, you don't attack Big Mama.
And orcas are just their social structure is so weird. And
yeah. Any family structure, you don't attack the mom.
They have a highly intensive social structure.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that it was her that was attacked. I think, if I had to really guess, it was her kids.
You don't mess with the mom.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
And she lost 4 adult orcas.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big chunk.
Think about that. That's 30 years of her life.
So So I would do the same thing. All right. This is a problem. Take care of that problem.
Now, here's the thing. If it leaves their social group and starts going into other orcas, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that would be not good.
I think you'll start having kayakers disappear.
Are we going to have a worldwide, like, orca roundup?
I doubt it.
Because then it's only going to get worse.
If great white sharks there's a chance of them going extinct here in the next, 50 years because of orcas.
Great whites?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because orcas, like we talked about in other episodes, they're starting to starve. Some populations. So they're picking on great whites a little harder than they normally do. There's not that many great white sharks. So people don't realize that there's not a lot of great white sharks on the planet.
Yeah.
So 20 dead great white sharks matters.
Right, yeah. What, you think they're going to kill all the sharks first?
Yeah. All the great white sharks, I mean, they're just eating the livers out of them.
So what if...
they're not getting a lot of food out of that big animal.
What would the oceans be like without orcas?
I mean, any apex predator you remove is going to push some environment into chaos.
Maybe there'll be an explosion of great whites.
So the reason the orcas the reason we think a megalodon and the Leviacus went extinct was because of orcas. So orcas are hunting whales. Same with Leviacus and megalodon. We're hunting whales. But orcas are a lot faster, a lot smarter, and they have coordination.
Right, yeah.
So they think that it's just they pushed them out. They pushed out those big predators.
So those big predators might come back.
No, they're gone. I mean,
well,
I think Leviacus is... I 100% think megalodon's gone, and I think Leviacus may...
Something will fill the niche.
I mean, it's going to be a while, though. It takes a long time for a species to step up.
Maybe. You don't know. What's something from the bloop, like, from the depths just explodes?
I'm pretty sure the bloop is mostly stationary.
Pretty sure, though. It's
juvenile
not 100%.
Bloops.
See, it might be juvenile bloops might just explode.
I don't think they swim.
And then we'll have a hybrid whale orca bloop take over the oceans. And then they'll grow legs and come on land. So that'll be World War VI.
So anything else about the orcas?
They're mighty beasts that need to be respected. Don't swim with orcas. Don't swim with them. Unless you want to toss 30 foot in the air and then, I don't know, swallow it after. But Don't swim with orcas. That's my only advice.
I wouldn't advise it. I don't think there's any extra fear from them actually attacking people.
But support Shamu.
So don't. Orcas shouldn't be in captivity.
But Shamu, he liked it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
There's a reason they keep eating their trainers.
Well,
it's because
they taste good.
They hate their life.
They hate their life.
No, I'm not joking.
I know.
They used to have to give. I can't remember what whale it was, what orca it was. They used to have to give it like medication, like anti-suicide medication.
Jesus, so bad.
It wanted to like hang itself. It literally was like trying to break its head on stuff. And
that's so bad.
I'm all for zoos and I'm all for aquariums, but there are animals that should not be kept.
It would hate.
Think about like really good zoos for elephants.
Yeah.
Literally the amount of space they give an elephant.
It's so big you can't see them.
Right. Like that's because they're massive animals.
Yeah.
Orcas are bigger.
Yeah.
By a lot.
In a lot smaller space.
A lot smaller space.
Yeah. Imagine going into work one day and you turn on the light switch to the tank and you just see a giant noose wrapped around it and it's like it's hanging in its tank.
It's horrible.
I know it's so horrible, but it's just funny. Like it found the time to tie its own rope, like its noose up. I just imagine that with big giant flippers is funny.
So let's talk about whale attacks as a whole.
Okay.
So what's going on? So some of this, like the older legends and stuff like that, we could be having old sea monsters being mistaken for whales, or just due to language, to what whales could be a catch-all term for big marine animals.
Right.
So do you think that's happening? Do you think in 500 AD it was not a whale, it was a big animal?
I mean, it could be because
a stellar sea cow, perhaps.
Oh, maybe not that. There's too gentle to.
I mean, we just stabbed him to death in the back of the head.
Right? Yeah. This is pre.
They weren't hard to kill.
Right. So I don't think it would have been that, but I mean, anything can get lost in translation over that amount of time. So it's possible it could have just been some other. I mean, it could have been a sharktopus for all we know.
Sharktopus.
But it was
Beluska.
But I'm down for this.
Porphyrios.
For some cetacean creature being responsible for this.
Here's my thing. I could see a guy, I guess, being for the old ones, like we talked about in the Roman Empire. But in the 1800s, they were whalers. They knew what a whale was.
Right.
They knew it was a big sperm whale. Like at least close enough to where they'd call it a big sperm whale.
Right.
Now, whether there's a different species of sperm whale is another thing.
Right. That's a whole other debate. But
they knew it was a whale.
Right. They knew it was in that family. I'm down to believe that as well.
And then, we're talking about the modern ones, but all these whales are very smart. So killer whales are known for holding grudges, but what if these are all of this, that they are known, these are whales holding grudges. This, the juvenile sperm whale of the of the 500 AD, sorry, could be, from the northern ocean, could have survived whaling. It left the area and then knew ships were bad.
Here, yeah.
Ships were bad, so it started attacking ships on purpose.
Right,
Like it knew they were ships. It knew that ships were, it survived whaling.
Especially in just this narrow of an area, or this very specific area.
So it could have been doing it everywhere it went.
Right, yeah.
It was only visiting this area on a giant empire where there was a lot of documentation.
Right, exactly.
A couple months. It could have been doing it everywhere it went. But, these smaller colonies and stuff like that, these smaller countries, just didn't have the documentation for it.
This is first for them.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Oh, I'm down for all that. Like I have no I don't think I have any argument towards that logic. Makes sense to me.
Now I have to put this on here.
Okay.
Demon whales.
Ooh.
They're like yokai.
This is like I was saying earlier with the hybrids like created.
Nephilim whales.
They're Nephilim whales. Like, all right, this Justine the First needs to go down.
The great and powerful Justine.
Yep. If you look up his Wikipedia.
I could not find his methods. One person said he just like kind of put a big net out there and it went right through the net.
I would like to think about. I bet they had some pretty smart ways of doing this, but
whaling was the thing at the time, but not really for the Roman Empire.
Okay.
They did hunt dolphins and such, but like big difference.
They had to have some sort of like
I could see it
smart
being
way.
A big net. Like humans are just as dumb as we are now as back then.
Right. Yeah.
Build a big net. It's just a big fish.
Right. Yeah.
It's like no, it's not.
Two boats with like a giant.
You just see
net
these
between
like
them.
4 or 5 warships getting pulled backwards
out into the sea.
Yeah. Like, well, We're never going to see those guys again.
The net's not working.
We built the net too strong.
Yeah. I don't know what they would have done to do it, but gosh, I would have liked to have been around to see them try.
I don't know why I put demon whales on the list.
But
I was very tired when I was doing this. It's not demon whales.
It could be a possessed whale.
I do not think so.
Why not?
Possessed by revenge.
Possessed by, yeah, see, same difference.
It's a very big difference.
Internal demons.
It's like not John Wick. What was the other one? Taken. What was Taken? Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah.
These Liam Neeson whales. They took the baby.
Yep.
Then it burned the Roman Empire.
I will sink your ships.
Could you imagine? I keep going back to that one because that's like the cherry on the cake for this episode of seeing like a giant Roman warship get hit and just start sinking. Like literally at the time, it was probably the scariest man-made device on the planet.
A Roman warship?
The Roman warships
Yeah,
at the height of the Roman Empire. And then you just see something smack it and it just start going down.
Oh, yeah. Whatever that something was would be the new scariest thing.
And you're like, what?
Yeah, let's do war on land.
Yeah, let's stop going out there.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. World's crazy.
And then I think here's for the most of these, and there's tons of other whale attacks in history and stuff like that. It's freak accidents. Like humpback whales, like have sunk 20 or 30 boats in the last 10 years.
Dang.
But it's because people get too close to humpback whales.
Right.
They're not doing it on purpose. They jump, they dance. The humpback whale is just doing what it does, and you get too close and it lands on you.
Shooting, they're shooting scenes for that Pacific Life commercial.
Yeah. And
trying to get the perfect
close.
slash, yeah, and he sinks your ship. It's what happens.
But I think a lot of these through history of that, like, and even the Essex,
Essex.
The Essex.
Yeah.
That's what happened there. Is it was a lot of criteria that kind of stacked up to make a freak accident.
Right.
I don't think that whale was going out of its way to attack ships on a regular basis. I think
they went to a whale breeding ground.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of things stacked up. The orca one, the recent orca one, I do think is result of cruelty towards the animal.
Yeah, revenge.
And then the Roman one, who knows?
Possessed by revenge.
It could have been Julius Caesar coming back as a whale.
Ooh, Napoleon could have been coming back as a whale. It's a little small whale, but it's a whale nonetheless.
When was Napoleon? Napoleon was like the 1600s, right?
Still, but he might be coming back.
1,000 years before?
No, with the new whales.
Oh, I thought you meant like
not the 500 one. No.
I'm like, what?
I meant the new whales, like coming back. Like this is a reoccurring theme where old historical figures come back as orcas and whales and attack ships. It's like a thing.
Adolf whale, Mussolini
just
whale.
Wait, Argent or South American killer whales.
If you do believe in reincarnation, that would be a good punishment because whales are peaceful and they pretty much get tortured by people.
But
get hunted.
But they can't once they realize they can fight back.
I mean, they're going to put down these orcas if they need to.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they're going to literally, here's a fish with dynamite in it.
That's one way to go about it.
It's not hard.
No.
It's not hard today to kill whales.
Right,
I mean, it's actually an issue.
Interesting.
It's too easy.
Interesting.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was Spencer was talking about in Washington how they had one of the tribes that was allowed to harvest whales traditionally. And they harvested way too many and with illegal technologies and stuff like that.
Oh.
And they were actually using the meat in like buffets and stuff like that.
Oh. That's not
then
good.
they got basically they're not allowed to take whales anymore.
Right, yeah. Oh, man. You can't take advantage of what you're given.
I have been the great and powerful Mr. E.
I've been the infamous J.
Have a good week. Trust whales.
Trust whales and help us with our Kickstarter if you guys
please.
still have the means.
If you can.
Join us on Patreon. You'll hear more about the Essex.
Yep. All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Crypts of the Corn podcast.
Please share with a friend you think would like us. It's the best way to help our show grow.
Leave a comment, rate us, a 5-star review, and remember, there is always extra content on Patreon/cryptsofthecorn.com.
And don't forget, stay magical.
For whatever reason, there's always been a stigma around mental health in our communities. Some people say that talking about your feelings makes you weak. But you know what? It doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. No matter what you're struggling with, you can call or text 988-LIFELINE to connect with a trained crisis counselor and get the resources and support you need. No judgment, no stigma, just hope. Text or call 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline day or night. 988. Hope has a new number.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where you'll say ta-ta T-Mobile because we have 99.9% network reliability and they don't. That's right. Time, weather, or even streaming in a basement won't affect our superior service. That's because we have real internet backed by our fiber-powered network. And T-Mobile, well, they just have a 5G cellular network. So for a limited time, find your perfect speed with prices starting at $19.99 a month for 24 months. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.